Sorry guys, my family just came home from an event. Oh, Mimsy went through the cat hole. Oh, of course, dee. This is why I try to do videos during the day. So, I'm on my last piece of paper that I wanted to bring up. I probably could end the video for the day, but my heart's into it. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to finish. All right, here we go.
Did you see that?
No, but I heard it. How does a child learn to reject a parent once loved? For those who don't know that giggle, that is my wild child, Andy Pandy, giggling over there. If you're not coming back, take your puppy. Okay. She better not freak out on me again. Okay, sorry guys. Get it together. How does a child learn to reject a parent once loved? This is important for me to read, to get out there for people to think. Everybody always asks me, like, why, how? Like, they don't understand why my son doesn't want to come to me. He's been told so many lies, and he doesn't have memory living with me. And he was told I locked him in his bedroom when he was 3, so why would he come to me? Moving on. There's 5 here. How does a child learn to reject a parent once loved? A child is indoctrinated into hating a parent once loved through the use of tactics by an alienated parent that fall into 5 main categories. Number 1, isolation. Isolation! Kind of close to being ignored. Not only was Credence isolated, but they took him and kept him from me. Isolation, number 1. Limiting contact and communication between the child and the targeted parent. There you go. Number 2, fear. Poisonous messages to the child about the targeted parent. It's okay, shut the door, sit down, you're good. Poisonous messages to the child about the targeted parent in which he or she is portrayed as unloving, unsafe, and unavailable. My note is, they lied to everybody and then they told everybody that they saved Credence from me. And this is the biggest one right here. That I lost him due to drugs. That's how they justify them kidnapping, them abducting, by they're justifying for everything basically is that I'm a druggie, I'm a drug addict. And even if I was or am, I have redeemed myself from that. I came back. So I don't think my son should have been taken from me, but since he was, I did the work and then some to get him back. That's what I mean by I redeemed myself. Number 3, undermining authority. Undermining the authority of the targeted parent. So my parents did a lot of that. They had so many obsessive, excessive rules. Credence had to call every night at a certain time and tell him good night, which made it where if I was doing anything, or they just made everything really hard. They weren't there for the visits, but they were still controlling everything, and they were still there. They also denied my visits too. Not all of them, but quite a few. I would have court paperwork in my hand, and they wouldn't bring my son to me. And what do? You call the cops, you show them the paperwork, but what do they do? Nothing, because I was told it's a civil matter. Which is bullshit, by the way, and if you're being told that, or was told that, that's another reason why I'm so driven for the cause, because for 1, if that is the way it is, that needs to change, and 2, that's not the way it is everywhere. And if you get a court order paper stating that something is the way it is, and the police can't help you at that time, how is everybody okay with that? And how many of you has that happened to? It's like nobody cares unless it has happened to them or someone they care about. And that sucks, because it shouldn't happen to you or someone you care about for it to matter. Because again, PA doesn't discriminate. It can happen to you. It can happen to anyone. Number 4, erasing and false memory implantation. Erasing and replacing the targeted parent in the heart and mind of the child. Yeah, that's what they did. They didn't want me to mother my son or my husband to be a bonus dad. And they were able to be both mom and dad. And I was young when I had him, so it could have been their kid. And the fact that he's a male. I won't get into that now, but anybody who knows me or my parents knows what I'm talking about. So it was kind of like a win-win. It was a trophy. And I hate saying that, you know, because my son's not a trophy, but yeah, he was the reward and still is. And he shouldn't be because he's mine. You know, if he comes back to me, that's not my award. He's my fucking kid. Anywho. My notes wrote, no memory of him living with me. They got to be 2 parents. And I don't know what they told him about his biological piece of shit sperm donor. I don't know. They always told him, because I heard through the grapevine and my mom told me, that they told Credence, we don't know who your father is. That mommy slept around. Isn't that nice? But I also know that when Eric got in trouble and his mugshot was in the paper, not only did I see it, but so did my mom. And she cut it out and highlighted it and sent it to all the family members. But yet told Credence, or tells him, that she doesn't know who the father is. So I don't know what Credence knows, if anything. My parents and I can't believe I actually thought that they would live up to their end of the deal. But we were going to talk to Credence about his biological piece of shit sperm donor together at a certain age, at a certain time. But right before Credence told me he didn't want to have a relationship with me because he's not ready for that, for a mother-son relationship, that we were supposed to tell Credence together. I don't know what they told him. Right before he told me he didn't want to talk to me anymore, which was the last time, before his graduation, and solituding, that he didn't want to be around me or have anything to do with me or his siblings, was that I keep thinking about what I was going to say, then I lost my train of thought. This is not good, guys. We were supposed to tell Credence together. And the next thing I know, he knows whatever it is that they told him. And he doesn't want to talk to me no more.
Eric.
And he tells me that.
Eric.
No, Credence tells me that. My parents tell Credence whatever they tell him about Eric, because I don't know what they said. I don't know if they said, we do know who he is, or I don't know nothing. I just know that I thought we were good, we had a mutual agreement, and things were good, and I was able to talk to and see Credence. And then, you know, because time flies, and he turned 17, 18 quickly. All of a sudden, he didn't need... My parents didn't want to have that talk that we said that we were going to have with him. And then when I asked about talking about his biological father, it was a done deal. It was, I don't know what they said. I just know that things were said. So, yeah, that's erasing and false memory implantation. Number 5, encouraging betrayal. Encouraging the child to betray the targeted parent's trust. And my notes are tainted, safe with them. Because he was always scared to be with me, be around my husband. He doesn't know his siblings. He was never able to just have a visit with me that was just free and no hostility and no... Not even that. I think also, too, you know, I didn't know at the time, you know, Credence... he was living with his abusers and alienators at the time, so he had to appease them. I don't understand why... Okay, no, I'll take that back. I'm not going to say that anymore. I don't understand why people don't see that or say that, because they do. Ramble, ramble. Isolation and fear are the tactics most prevalent in the school setting. Yeah, I believe that. That is so sad. I'm going to read it again. Isolation and fear are tactics most prevalent in the school setting. That's where I'm pretty sure my parents told the doctors and the schools to look out for me and that I wasn't allowed to and yada yada. I didn't know where he was going or what school he was going to. I didn't know anything about his teachers, or they didn't have to worry about it, but I know that they made it that way because I was never allowed to be around them and nobody would ever tell me anything, and I was never invited to anything, and I still don't know anything. And if I did get told anything, it was way after the fact. You know, my son's 21 now. His childhood is gone. He's into adulthood. Last thing. The degree of a child's rejection of a parent depends on the types of tactics used, the groups of those tactics, and the amount of time over which the alienated parent used them. If all of these are severe enough, the child will eventually completely reject a parent. I'm going to repeat that. The degree of a child's rejection of a parent depends on the types of tactics used, the groups of those tactics, and the amount of time over which the alienated parent used them. If all of these are severe enough, the child will eventually completely reject a parent. Anybody who watches this video and stuck through it, thank you. Or does a little bit of research on their own about PA. That's like one of the worst questions anybody can ask an alienated parent, you know? Like, why is your son... Why does your son have nothing to do with you? And then you explain it and they don't believe it. Maybe that's the problem. It is the problem. I told all of you every time, all the time, what the problem was, and none of you believe me. There's no question why my son doesn't come to me. He has been alienated and abused by the very same people who abused me. My consequence for breaking free and being me is definitely not having my son. So, and I know if I even went backwards, for one, it wouldn't matter because now he's an adult, so they already got him molded into what they wanted him to be and believe. That's why you guys can't, why I can't be mad at my son. Yes, definitely, there was a period of time where I was angry with him because I was depressed, sad, confused. But he is being used as a weapon, and he was brainwashed, and he doesn't know why, and it's not his fault. And whether he's 18, 21, 25, fuck, he could still be 80 and not come to me because the brainwashing is so severe. And I know just how severe it can be because I just know how severe it was to get away. So Credence, if you guys haven't caught on to this yet, part of my doing these videos is for you, Credence, because I miss you. I love you. You might not even know about these videos, and if you do, you might not even want to watch these videos. But I have to do this for me, for you, for us. It's what's right. And I've been silenced for so long, so much, that it feels good to be able to speak up. It's still scary. I still do the what ifs, or I still, sometimes hesitate. But it's what needs to be done. And the more and more I do it, the more easier it's going to become. And the more I will be able to become articulate, and you guys will understand more. Signing out. Love to the alienated. Have a good night, guys. Hopefully tomorrow will be another good, better day. I'll try again.